SciManDan.
Who's that?
Who? 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 SciManDan.
Who's that?
Have any of you noticed that I've got a new admirer?
Let's just say, at 28th of June, he had 1,769 subscribers, right? We are now on the 17th of August. So essentially, we're looking at around about 50 days or thereabouts. And in 50 days, he's gone up to almost 27,000 subscribers. So he's put on 25,000 subscribers or 500 subscribers a day. And his work is shit.
Because I'd like to know how current science worked out the distance to the sun.
Okay, so you'd like to know how current science works out the distance to the sun. Okay, I think I can manage that.
Yes, Anthony said he would like you to tell him how current science worked out the distance to the sun.
In general, we look for a new law by the following process. First, we guess it.
So when we look at how we measure the distance to the sun today, using modern techniques, we'll see that Huygens was proved correct.
No, SciManDan. Don't go to Huygens. We asked you, how do you prove the distance to the sun today? Where is your proof of the size of Venus?
But it's irrelevant. Don't need that information.
Where is your scientific proof?
Okay, but we don't need that either.
Can you science, bro?
Indeed I can. Are you listening carefully?
Cool. Yes, he can. Or, indeed he can. Can't wait. Where's the science?
Good. Before we talk about the exact distance to the sun, I'm going to show you first Eratosthenes measured the angle of the sun's rays in two places.
Eratosthenes! Hello? Hello? Is SciManDan there? Hello? Hello? Wakey wakey, SciManDan. Current science today. Hello? Not 2,000 years ago. Hello? Sticks in the ground. Hello? SciManDan, wake up.
But I'm going to show you how his results meant it couldn't be anything other than a sphere. A convex lens can be purchased for a very small amount.
A convex lens? A piece of glass? Is this your science? Bro, seriously. I'm losing the will to live right now. Hello? SciManDan, I'm asking for science. Hello? Science, SciManDan. Hello? Wakey wakey.
Right. You want to know though how current science gets the exact distance to the sun. Not a problem.
Yes, we want to know what current science there is that proves the distance to the sun. For crying out loud, man.
When Venus is at greatest elongation, we use radar to determine the distance. Greatest elongation is the point whereby Venus is furthest from the sun in our sky.
Excellent. Radar. Hello, now we're getting somewhere. So I'm guessing this is a formulated scientific proof. Looking forward to the hypothesis.
If you go to radar and Venus, the question then becomes how a successful ping can happen on a sphere that's orbiting the sun, rotating itself, and also curved. The receiver is no longer in the same place physically to actually receive the ping. So assuming the ping travels in straight lines and it takes 3.8 minutes to traverse the 30 million miles or so it's meant to be, let's round down to 7 minutes for the relay time. In that time, the Earth is meant to have physically rotated and orbited. Plus, it's got a new angle of observation to it. So how does the technology compensation for these movements? Well, 7 minutes is not really a long time when we're talking about movement along an orbit, especially one as big as ours.
What do you mean 7 minutes isn't a lot of time? when you're talking about movement over an orbit. Are you retarded, man? SciManDan, oh my. Calm down, calm down. Right. Let's have a look. So, the Earth's yearly orbit around the Sun is 584 million miles. 584 million miles divided by 365 equals 1.6 million miles per day. Divide that by 24 hours equals 66666666666. Oh, that's a very interesting number, that. Anyway, we'll go with it. So every hour, the Earth moves through our solar system to the tune of 66,666.666 miles. Let's go further. Let's divide that by 60 to give us the distance it travels in 1 minute. Now, from your reference here, when you were quoting Sleeping Warrior, there and back, we are looking at 3.8 minutes times 2, which would be 7.6 minutes. So let's do some mathematics and figure out how many miles it travels in 7.6 minutes. Times this by 7.6 equals. That now means that since the radar was sent and the radar returned, the Earth had moved 8,444.44 miles. And you said it didn't move very much? Well, let's have a look at the radius of the Earth. The radius of the Earth is 6,371 kilometers. We do the calculation on that and we times 6,371 by 2, we get 12,742, which is the entire width of the Earth. Let's change from kilometers and move 12,742 and divide that into miles, and we get 7,917.5 miles. What that effectively means is that from there to there, the Earth is 7,915.5 miles. That is how wide the Earth is. Let's put this 7,915.5 mile wide Earth into a background representative of space. So here we have the Earth when it sent its signal. It was in this location in space. However, 7.6 minutes later, when the signal returned, the Earth had moved location, and on its orbit, it had moved to the tune of 8,444 miles. Effectively, this would place the Earth in this location, which means that the radar will be trying to return a signal to the Earth, which was no longer in the space that it sent it from. You complete moron. So let's just hear that again. 7 minutes isn't a lot of time when we're talking about distances of the Earth's orbit.
Well, 7 minutes is not really a long time when we're talking about movement along an orbit, especially one as big as ours. So there you have it. A load of word salad. Brilliant. Bye, Ranty.
Well, I am sorry, SciManDan. In this case, you are completely wrong. In fact, you are so wrong, it is almost unbelievable. maybe you should change your name to NOscimandan, because it seems that everything that we have asked for and everything we have seen in this video is absolute proof that you don't know science. You have no scientific proof of anything. We asked you for science. We don't get science. We get sticks in the ground and pieces of glass. Dude, you're killing me here. We asked you for your science. You have provided no science, no hypothesis, nothing to validate your claims. And we haven't even got to the point of, can you actually prove the speed in which radar is supposedly traveling through a supposed vacuum of space? We put your feet to the fire and we ask you for your science. You have the whole body of science behind you, and yet you cannot come up with a solid answer. It's like all our housekeeping questions. You cannot answer them. You have no scientific proof of any of this, and it's pathetic. You, SciManDan, are pathetic. You cannot science. Oh, and one last thing, SciManDan. Stop trying to mimic Conspiracy Cats, because he does it far better than you. Far better than you. Not that I agree with what he says or what he does, but hey, he nails it. You don't. Hello? We ask for science. Hello? You're supposed to be the science man. Anyway, here we have SciManDan. We asked him 3 or 4 times for his current scientific proof of the distance to the sun. What we got was sticks in the ground, a piece of glass, some speech about a radar, and how the Earth wouldn't have moved very far in that time, which I think I have demonstrated that it certainly did. Dude, you suck.